Hello everybody, this is LishaJoya. That I do a different series to my videos. It's how to clean your computer. What I have here is an old compact Presario, and the reason why I'm busting out this old power is because my current laptop is acting kind of funny, and I need to take it apart to clean out the fans. And my drivers are getting too hot, everything is getting too hot, and it's been some time since I cleaned it, but I need a backup computer in the process. But unfortunately, I haven't done anything with this computer in about 4 to 5 years. So I don't even remember how much RAM it has, how much overall memory it has, if it's got a SCSI, if it's a SATA, or anything like that. But today I have to fire it up, but it's extremely dirty on the inside. So, just want to show you how dirty it is. I have to open it up from here. This is an old bolt that I installed about 5 or 6 years ago because the other one was kind of wimpy. And it's pretty easy. You just unscrew this. Usually you have bolts on the side. This one kind of stays in. So I'm just going to loosen that. But before you get started with that, you're going to need some nail polish remover, which is acetone. Make sure it has no fragrances, no dyes, none of that crap. You will need rubbing alcohol. These both dry pretty fast. Okay, you're going to do a 50-50 solution. You will need your container, which you'll be mixing these two together. You'll need a non-static rag. These yellow shop towels are just perfect. You might need some bottle nose pliers. You might need some needle nose pliers. You might need a few screwdrivers. I have little toys here and there. This one changes. So you can have it in your pocket and always have a screwdriver. You like? A little handy dandy stuff. Looks like a pen, but not. You may need a couple dental picks. This is my own professional set that I've had for several years. Since before my son was born, actually. And you know my son's 16. It comes with like this little adapter. It screws right on in. And you see the grooves inside here, the threads. And you put it in, and you just screw it in, like so. It's in case you have to get the rag inside a little bit further in a certain spot, and you don't want to touch with your hands. And this is also another one of my handmade tools. I actually milled this myself, and I made it very sharp. This is made from stainless steel, and yep, it's made from tape on the end, and then we put some electrical tape on the end, so you wouldn't be electrocuting yourself. The next thing you're going to need that goes along with the rubbing alcohol and nail polish solution is these applicators. And the reason why I picked these ones over the ones with the fuzzy tip is because the fuzzy tips, they leave residue inside, and those can become like little dust inside and can be positively charged and can fry your computer when you turn it on finally after you're done cleaning it. So all that hard work will be for nothing. But these don't leave the residue, plus it's got a nice rounded tip, and then it's got a very pointed tip on the end. And you can get these in the makeup aisle at your local Walmart or your dollar store, whatever. And most importantly, before you start anything, you're going to need a ground strap, okay? And when you wear your ground strap, wear it on the hand you don't use the most. So if you're primarily right-handed, which I'm ambidextrous, but I'm more comfortable with wearing this on my left side, you have to wear this, the metal part, on the thinnest part of your wrist. Okay? And you have to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay? Some people like to put it over this, but you have to make sure it's nice and secure, but it's not cutting off your circulation. See, that's a little too tight. But you also need to make sure it's firm so it's actually touching your skin. Okay? After you've established that, you're going to open up your case. Usually these are a little pain in the butt, but before we get started, I'm going to take the camera and show you the inside of this, and I'll show you how to put yourself and connect yourself to this machine. Okay? Okay, everybody. Now I want you to see all the spider webs, all the dirt, the dust. It's actually not that dirty. It's just mainly full of spider webs as well. And I forgot to mention, you're going to need canned air or an air compressor. But I forgot to show you the air can that I use, and I'll show you that in the next clip. I want to show you how dirty my fans are, my RAM slot, my RAM slots, my hard drives, my DVD burner, my CD burner, you know, my fans, my external fan, my internal fan, my heat sinks are all dirty. I mean, my power supply is even dirty. See the vent? So you're going to have to go through and clean all that. And I'll show you how to do that pretty damn safely with all the stuff I showed you. Okay, everybody, I am back. I forgot to mention, I've got these extra 2 cans of air. This is like a half can. And the little nozzle thing's broken, so I went down to Walmart today and bought me an extra one. This is actually my favorite one right here. And then we're going to go ahead and get started on the actual cleaning. The first thing you want to do is blow the hell out of it, okay? And how you do that, you get your canned air. And warning, you need to be in a dust-free place. And make sure you have your ground strap ready to go. You're going to blow it as much as you can. Okay. I just want to warn you that the cobwebs are not going to freaking move. They're like, the spiders got really good in there. Okay. You want to blow the inside of your fan. You're going to need it the most. And this can, as you get it, as you keep blowing it, will get cold in your hands. See, this is when the needle nose pliers will come into play, because you're going to need to take some of this excess garbage. See this? This is electrically charged particles you don't need to get it out. Alright. Okay guys, I'm going to show you from a different angle. See, there's more spider webs right in here. More dust and dirt. And you can tell that this sprayer nozzle isn't really doing its job. That's why I like this brand a hell of a lot better. I mean, how you undo one of these is you take the straw and then you bust this top piece off. It's like the lock for it. And then you just simply insert the straw into the nozzle hole. And then you shake it a little bit. Ah, now that's what I'm looking for. Well, I still didn't get everything off. So I'll take my needle nose pliers, carefully remove spider webs. Say goodbye, Spider-Man. Woo, bye-bye. Alright. See all this extra junk? It's because it's been sitting for 4 to 5 years, you know? And at this point, I personally do not know the condition of my power supply, my external fan, my internal fan, connected to the heat sink, to my CPU. Now you can tell I've installed this one myself. It's an ABC, so it's a very powerful fan. And then you're gonna remove loose stuff with your pliers. You might want to, you know, get familiar with the bottlenose ones, but these ones are longer and they're fully. These needle nose will fully extend inside. You don't want to touch really the metal to any of the metal inside here. The reason why that being said, because see, this is fine, it's not electronic, but see this, you don't want to touch it and get it all shorted. Alright? And then the reason for this rag is to keep clearing off the bugs and the stuff off of your thing. Oh, I have some massive crap in here. I'm gonna have to blow that out. Warning, dust time. Yep, it's gonna be noisy, but it's gonna be a lot better than when it was by itself. That's just one direction. I gotta wait for the fan to stop. And the fan is going to keep going until finally it's full stop. Now, this is where the ground strap comes into play. Okay? You want to ground yourself to the chassis, to the actual case. It's called the chassis. And you want to make sure you got the alligator clips and clip it on in here. See, it's not really clipping like it should. Well, guess what? What do you think the purpose of this is for? See? That's where you actually clip your stuff to the outside, to the back, if you have one of these. Some computers actually don't have this. Okay? And that's fine. Now we're going to get the air can here, and we're going to blow this. Blow this shit away, yeah! Goodbye! Goodbye! Woo! So we're going to do some external stuff, you know. I'm going to blow the outside, do the gas from here, turn it around, and we're just going to blow it. Okay? Now, before we go on to the next step, this part is pretty safe to say it's extremely dirty. And you're going to have to go in, and it's extremely hot because it's been sunny out today. You want to do this away from what you've already done with the internal part of this machine. So it's hot, so I'm going to use this as an oven mitt. You don't need to be grounded at this pretty much time, so you can just unplug yourself. You can take your cover plate on the outside, okay? And you can go ahead and get the air can and blow both sides. And then get in each one. Don't be intimidated to do this, especially you ladies. Because everybody's going to have to eventually clean their computers, regardless of what model is or how old it is, at least once a year or once every 6 months anyways. Okay, since it's not really electronic at all, it's just completely metal, go ahead and you can go ahead and mix. I'll show you right here. Let's see if you can see. There we go. Yeah, I think you can see. Can you see? Yeah. Alright. You're going to take, since we got caps here, I'm going to mix about 4 caps. 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4. You want to do this in a well-ventilated place. Okay? And since these caps are 2 of those, I'll have 8 of these caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're allergic to alcohol or nail polish remover, you may need to have someone else do it. I'm going to mix this with my finger because I'm not. It's going to need to be in a well-ventilated place. Okay? There's still some stuff on the inside that you can't just go right on in and start cleaning it. And you can't go over the actual components itself. But we're going to go ahead and clean the switch plate. I call it the switch plate. Alright? clean this, get the end of the rag. You only need your finger and dip it in, and then go ahead and just clean. And just get it all dust free as much as possible. Okay? So all that crap, see all that crap that's coming up? It's not just the paint. Okay, it's the actual crap itself. This way you get it free from as much dust and God knows what. Alright? Now, since this is metal, go ahead, and if you've already cleaned it, go ahead and put this in a shaded place, which I'm going to do that right now. Okay, kiddos. Now, this is where these applicators are going to come in quite handy. This is a brand new bag. Okay, there we go. So I'll get my ass straightened out here. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference on my own skin. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, you can go right into the nooks and crannies. Right? Here you can go a little bit more of a greater surface area. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. Alright, I'm going to take the camera. I know what. See, look. I'll show you the difference. Alright? Inside. Inside case. Not that much of a surface area, right? It's so dirty. And this alcohol combination actually dries and actually evaporates. That's why you want to be outside. So now you see how dirty. Clean, dirty. Clean, dirty. Okay? And see all this junk that's inside here? I'm going to have to go in and clean it. We're going to take a break for right now. Okay, everybody. I'm right now going in with the mixture, and I'm actually cleaning up the outside of this. I know it's kind of pretty much petty and cosmetic, but, you know, after all, you touch it, you put your mail on top of it, whatever you do with your towels. It's up to you. You clean the face of it. And it dries pretty damn quickly, especially since we're out here in the sun. But the one area that's going to be kind of tricky is this backside. You notice I kept myself grounded. Okay, keep myself nice and clean. Because the dirt actually is actually electrostatic. And so is the dust. And when you turn this guy on, you have to make sure it's completely clean. So it's not, you know, getting on these extra dirt particles that are coming in from the outside going into the fan. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take apart my fan, so I'm going to lightly clean it as good as I can. Okay? See, I already have some stuff already on here, so I'm going to go ahead and go in here, just wipe it. I know I'm going to be dusting it again and again, but it doesn't hurt, because the more often you clean this, the better and better it becomes. The only thing I have a problem with is this extra stupid spiders, spider webs, you know, also. So you need to really go in there. This may take a good hour or so. And I have some serious crap underneath my power supply. If I turn this on right now, my computer will fry. So you might get some dust and dirt and all that stuff. Just wipe and wipe and wipe. Come on, spiders, get off my poodles. Alright, this stuff dries pretty fast. It's the reason why you want this stuff, because, you know, you want all this crap off your computer. You don't want to cause electrostatic onto your chips, because you fry your chips even while you're cleaning this. That's why you're grounded. And if you have long hair like me, you might want to put your hair back. Or if you just took a shower, you might want to really make sure you're not high. Meaning you might want to put some lotion like right here where the contact meets your skin. Because you're dry and you yourself can create static. Okay, I'm going to try to clean my fan as much as possible. If I loosen this up, I'm going to need to use a different spot for this rag. I have more where this comes from. This is a little too wet. See, it's like really drippy. you want to disperse some of this, or at least fold it in half, at least. Go ahead and clean. You're really not going to want to turn this on for a good hour or two after you're done cleaning. Clean the power supply. You're going to get dust in your face. Keep shaking your towel. Any extra debris. And just keep going in and cleaning like normal. Remember, keep yourself connected to the chassis. Okay? Keep cleaning. Because you don't need to have Spider-Man living inside your stuff. Spider-Man meaning spider webs. That's what we call spiders around here. We call them Spider-Man. Sorry, Spider-Man. Don't live underneath my desk. So clean as much as possible. I'll show you what I'm doing now. Okay. See these buses right here? I'm cleaning those. But how I'm cleaning those is manually with the wet part of this already, which I'm gonna need another one. So a little bit of the solution. Make sure it's nice and not too wet, because you don't want it too wet. Use your finger if you need to. Clean a little bit, cleaning it better than it was before you fire it. And then you want to get into your hard drive. Okay? Find the wet spot. Feel free to move around the cables. Just clean around and underneath. Just don't clean right here. Clean the chassis underneath the actual brackets that actually hold the power supply. Then you want to go ahead and see, you might see some debris, some dust. Spider-Man. Some more Spider-Man along in here. And then you're going to want to take a little break, let this air out, and repeat. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, everybody, I am back. While we were gone, I covered it up because I'm outside. Don't want any of the sun to damage any of the components. Even though heat is usually the enemy of all computers and all electronics. So I covered it up, but still left a little under so that the air can get to it. And you can still see it's still quite massively dirty, not worthy to be turned on at this moment. So, we're going to re-blow this out again. And see there's more dust coming out? See, if you were to turn this on, this would have been probably damaging your RAM, memory card, chipset, you name it. And there's more Spider-Man. See, you wouldn't have been able to get this before. And you can see my broken stuff. But you can always fix it. Well, I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to keep blowing this out a little bit more. Okay, we're back. I just went in and blew it out a little bit more. But it's still pretty filthy. It's not even worthy to be turned on at this present moment. So I'm going to go ahead and keep continuing to clean it. It takes a little while. People think, oh, it's a fast job. But it's really not a fast job. So I'm dipping my rag inside my 50% rubbing alcohol and nail polish remover, which is acetone. Mind you. Go ahead and clean it, because I've been blowing everything off the bottom. This actually helps. Kind of let it loose, what I call Spider-Mans. And sometimes you see some stuff that can't be removed under normal means. And that's perfectly fine, okay? You're always going to have some dust. It's going to be a pain in the butt to make sure you want to get underneath the power supply and also the power supply itself, because it's got these holes in it, and that's for ventilation, okay? And if your power supply cannot operate, it gets overheated, it just won't power on. End of story. See, there's more stuff coming out. Every time I clean it, let it dry, and I blow it out, I get more stuff. Okay, that's perfectly normal when you have an old system as old as this. You don't want to get all the way to the board here, because you don't want to accidentally touch anything. Just probably blow it out and gently remove some of the stuff, you know, clean the fan as much as we can. Little dust bunnies, and Spider-Man, all that stuff. Be careful because, you know, we're working in the sun. Your chassis, aka your cover, may end up getting really hot from the sun. And then you see, I'm grounded. I know I've been grounded. Anyway, it's the only time it's okay to be grounded. Alright? Besides emotionally. Alright, so I'll go ahead and clean. Kind of dust off lightly these cables. Kind of make sure they're still in. Yeah, okay, good. Making sure it's in. Put it up. My computer. Should you all over again. You might want to try to lightly dust some of these cables. Because you may have some Spider-Mans that like to live inside. I think they're hiding from you. They're like, no, you can't clean now. You flew us, but you can't clean. I need. Okay. Now, you want to gently clean here. Only with the spot that actually has the cleanser. And then you also want to go ahead and get your 50% cleaner. See how it evaporated? Okay. I put a little too much, kind of let it soak, but it evaporates. So remember our solution, if it gets too wet, you might want to fold it in half and fold it in half so it becomes like slightly saturated, kind of evenly dispersed throughout the rag, so you have more workspace to work with. Okay, and as you keep cleaning, you find more and more junk, and it's okay, you know. You're gonna have to go in and clean again a couple more times, actually, because this has not been fired on in 4 to 5 years. So I mean, imagine how old my drivers are, how old everything else. I have no idea what operating system it has, to be very honest with you. I think it has Windows Vista, but I don't remember. Or maybe XP, because XP I'm gonna have to change that, because there's no Service Pack 3 for it, and I need that. Okay, I'm going to turn it around so you can see. See how it's so old? I have some like rust stuff right over here. Well, that's just wear and tear. You can kind of lightly clean it just a little bit. You want to clean inside here, clean your extra bus slots. Yes, I actually have extra bus slots. Yeah. Yes, go Lisha. Alright. Go ahead and, you know, cosmetically, you know, clean around a little bit more. You can never be too careful about these things. Turning this around and then clean the front case again. And we're going to go ahead and pause this as we let the rest of this dry. Okay, everybody, it's almost nearly clean. Look inside here. Pretty clean. I went out and dusted it with the air canister again. You're probably going to need about 1 or 2. You know, you don't want anything electrostatic onto your components. You know, I have to go in with little Q-tip thingies I showed you, and then I have to go in with a couple other my little gadgets I had made. I had made my own tools. There's still some like dust on here, but that's like normal for any type of computer, especially this old. However, it's always good to make sure it's clean. I'm making sure all my things, everything's pushed in the way it's supposed to. You know, it's connected. You know, because you never know, from 4 to 5 years, you know, things might have shifted, moved. You know, things secure. Damn, I built this good. And yes, I did build this computer. But it's been so long because I built so many computers. And then, let's see. She seems to be pretty clean. You know, but I'm going to have to go in. I'm not satisfied with my power supply. And I'll show you the tool I'm going to use to go through that. I still see some dirt way back there. But it's going to be really difficult for me to go and clean that unless I find my special brush. Let's go see. Okay guys, welcome to the break part of this actual how to clean your computer tutorial. This is actually my toolbox. I've been using this since my associate's degree since I was 17 years old. I went to college at 17 for my first set of degrees. I have 3 degrees, 2 bachelor's, 1 associate's, if you really want to know my pedigree regarding my education. Not that it matters, because it doesn't matter how smart you are in life, you could do stupid stuff. So, with that being said, I am looking for something in particular, and it's my actual cleansing brush. I might have lost it. Holy crap. Welcome to my box. I look like a man's box, right? Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Components, jumper wires, optical crap, solder, da-da-da. And now I'm looking for the brush I use to clean with, and I might not have one in here anymore because the bristles are actually designed to not be electrostatically charged, so it makes it easy. So, there's my other tool, not the one I'm looking for, but I found my other baby. Come on, my little special dental tool. Has a little special cap to protect it from losing its tip, and yes, I have to go and sharpen it every so often when I've used it frequently. Okay, this is definitely not it. But oh, it's a nice brush. I'll put this one out for later. Oh, you probably haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's a vacuum tube. This one, it's when me and my late husband used to take things apart together, and we took apart an old 1950s big huge TV, and this came out of it, and this was one of the stuff that blew, and I kept this as a memento of when my late husband and I used to take stuff apart together. And I won't leave it like that, but old breadboards, we're learning how to use my stuff, XYZ, special cables, blah blah blah, that go XYZ. Well, apparently I don't have it, unless it's up in here. Oh, no, I don't. Shitball. Alright, we are just going to have to cut this smaller. But unfortunately, I don't like this brush because it leaves bristles, so I won't use it now. Now I think about it. And you don't want extra crap if you're trying to get rid of out of your computer from being charged, set on fire, all that stuff. So, we're taking a little break, close this up, fix this back up, and then I have to go through my paint box and then find something else. Okay, I am back. Put myself back to the ground. See? I'm grounded. Alrighty. Now, there's some things in here I can go ahead and start to clean. And I blew it out a couple more times. And you're going to need a few of these because you're going to go through these like crazy. So, don't feel bad if you go through these. And I got these for $1. But we're not going to use the flat end. We're going to use the pointed end. And it's a little too wet for my own taste. I don't like to squeeze it out. And then see how it even gets fuzzy and the little fuzzies. That's why you gotta be very careful with it. I screwed up. Okay, next. See, it's okay to be picky. Okay, you can go ahead and just roll it. I'm gonna roll it on the rag instead, so it remains its pointy tip and doesn't fray. Go ahead and clean. Here's a little bit, Guys, see all this extra crap that would be in there? So I'm going to go ahead and just change out. Got another one. Roll it. So it's nice and pointed still and doesn't fray. It's a fiber. The fiber should be electronically charged. You don't want to get the capacitors that are there. See these black things in here? Those are capacitors, and I can't tell by looking at the tops of them right now what they are, what their values are. I can tell you how many farads there are, picofarads, nanofarads, whatever, I can tell you that another time. But with the remainder of this, you go ahead and kind of just go through it. Clean it, You don't want to ruin the instructions that are inside here either. So sometimes you have to be content with it being as it is. We're going to get another one, dip it in, roll it onto your rag, right? And we're just gonna go through these little things right in here. I mean, it's starting to fray a little bit because it grates, kind of like, like you would grate cheese or grate onions or any type of things you use a mandolin grater. Okay. And then I'm cleaning fix the can, and then I have to get underneath here a little bit more further because there's vents. And just see the stuff, more junk coming off, and that's perfectly fine. I have another tool I'll show you that I use sometimes, but I found another hidden Spider-Man. See? Hidden Spider-Man. These things are awesome. You can also go back in on the other end of this and actually go back and dry it up. But right now we're just gonna, let it air dry. And sometimes that's the best way. I'm gonna go in and kind of clean it a little again, kind of like a little like this. It's as good as it's gonna get. Nothing's gonna be, perfect está bien, you know what I mean? We're gonna clean this a little. I'm gonna use this end. I kind of clean the plastic a little bit on the side, my bracket to hold my, my hard drive, my CD-ROM drive, my DVD burner, I think even my A drive. Yeah, my SS drive, SSDs, all this other fun stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean around the cables, just a little bit, and go back. We're going to use this side to clean the cables so we're not wasting our money, or your money. Go ahead and just dust the cables off a little. The less dust, the less dirt. Get as good as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at least try, See all the extra stuff I just got off of my cable? See that? See that stuff that would be, inside your computer normally. The less dirt, the better, okay? We're going to need more. It doesn't hurt to have more. And I'm working outside to make it uptown. And so don't want it too wet on the inside. And then cables a little bit, and the wires a little bit, kind of like a little dusting, And this stuff evaporates or dries, okay? The solution. And this is why we're outside, because we're using this stuff. This stuff is highly flammable. Not only is it flammable, but it's also highly toxic. Also, you need to be in a well-ventilated area when you use this. Or when you do this, you can do it, my pretty. There we go. Also, it's good to hold the cable as you're cleaning, so you don't actually yank it out because of the force of cleaning. And then we can get into the other spots. On the hard drive. Ooh, that was dirty. There we go. See, more dirt on the hard drive. Yay! Yay and stuff. Sorry about that. I have an extra set of components I forgot to put away from the last segment. Maybe someday I'll teach you guys how to read the values on resistors and capacitors, like basic know-how type stuff. Clean this damn stuff. See this? The extra Spider-Man. See how it frays like that? So you gotta be careful about this thing. That's why I don't use the large side. That's why I use the pointed side when I do particular applications. Okay. Clean corners. Corners are a pain in the butt. See how I got from the corner too? And it's okay to take your time. It's better to be safe than sorry than actually have all this extra static inside your computer. I mean, it would work normally fine, but right now I'm cleaning this because I'm getting ready to fire it up for the first time in 4 or 5 years. And I may need to install a new operating system altogether. And I have no idea what's even in this. I think this was all my old shipping computer when I had my businesses. And I had like a harvester programmer where I could spam people and, all that fun stuff. But this may take the cake. It's actually not that dirty. I'm actually going to go in and re-blow this out after it dries a little bit. And the little Spider-Man trying to get him back in. No, you can't have it. Alright. This is where my homemade tool comes in. Or if you have a dental pick, okay? You want to be careful if you're outside and these are metal, you know, you might burn your fingers, it might be too warm, so you don't get all freaked out. This would be a good tool to come in and look at status on your cables, the dirt on your cables. Try not to accidentally slice it open because this is very sharp. You want to check your power supply. It's just a very good tool. See, I found a hidden Spider-Man. See, I found a hidden Spider-Man. See, Spider-Man doesn't have no place inside here. Let me look through the condition of the cables. And you see a little phrase from these little Q-tip things. What? I see more Spider-Mans on my motherboard. Hell. Alright. So, I'm going to loosen that up because they're little sticky little suckers. So we're going to go ahead and blow this out again. And look what happened. We were too epic for this job, right? So when it comes out, just put it back in. And I'm going to tilt this forward. Yeah, I see it hitting the Spider-Man. Okay, when your air can goes in, and you go upside down, it emits more of the actual duster itself, and it emits more moisture from the actual duster. So when it does that, stop what you're doing. The can's going to be cold. Put it down. Take a little break from your job from blowing it out. Okay. Now's a good time to go in with your rag. Of course, it's a little too wet, so go in and kind of re-clean again. Find any more Spider-Mans. Clean the cable. Gently clean the cable. Remember, you're actually inside and you're grounded, so careful even while you're grounded. Alright, don't be intimidated by all this. Okay? And this looks very clean. As clean as it's going to get. Well, my perfectionist ways here. Go ahead and look and inspect inside here. You're going to see some stuff you can't get to right away. And that's okay. Just make sure the essentials like the power supply, the fans are completely clear, so they can actually cool your computer, you know. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to actually try to physically clean the blades of the fan. It's very difficult when it's inside. You can't just like unmount it. I'm being lazy. Okay. So this is where my tool comes in. Very handy. Watch. It acts like an extra finger. Alright, and then move it. You clean underneath. As good as you can. You're not going to be able to get it all perfect unless you physically take it out and cleanse it yourself. And we're getting the underneath side. Go ahead and use another part of the rag and clean the other fan. This one is not nearly as bad as the exit fan. I call this the exit fan, by the way, because it exits out the hot air, exits out all dirt and dust and particles and crap that your computer generates. Your computer generates all this type of stuff. It's actually pretty wow. I'm impressed. This one's I'm actually impressed with this one. I'm actually impressed with how clean it was, but it's not that clean as it can. Extra clean. can never get a good on these things when you're doing it like this. But you can do a try to do a pretty good job. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like now. Here's 0 Spider-Man, at least not. Oh, there's one. I lied. Get it out with my hand. Notice I'm grounded. See, I'm grounded. Took that off. I think that's 2 gig of RAM right there. I think it is. At least I have room to put more RAM in. At least I'm pleased about that one. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna check. Side here. We're gonna check underneath because you can never be sure about underneath. These cables. See, there's some stuff. It's kind of hard on. It won't be able to come off. Also, you can use this tool or the other dental tool that I showed you earlier to clean underneath here and into these holes of the CPU. I mean, sorry, not the CPU, the holes of the power supply. But you might accidentally push the dirt in. So that's why I don't really do that. But I just want to show you for purpose sakes, in case you have like a loose set of dust or Spider-Man, as I like to call it, you know, like spider webs. And go ahead and remove it this way so you can get right in. And just move it out. Don't push in, move and slide out through the grate. Just makes it easier for you. I'm going to go ahead and give it one more blow. And then we're going to take it inside and let it cool down for a good 2 hours before I choose to fire it on. Okay, we're about to go in and do another blow. But this time, since, you know, we're outside, we're going to tilt this down one more time. And if we see quite a bit of dust, then we're not quite done. But according to this, we are pretty much as done as it's going to get. It's not going to be 100% unless you have a brand new computer altogether, or you're rebuilding it completely from scratch and you're doing all brand new components. Okay? Now, shake your hand on the top to the bottom. And that is as good as it's going to get. Okay, now note that we put something really, really cold, like that, the canned air, onto our item here, onto our computer here. And just notice that it's going to take some time to cool down, plus we're also in the sun. So it's going to need to go in and go back into the house and be completely cool before you even remotely power this on. Okay? I'm going to show you how to slide this back on. I know a lot of you get intimidated when it comes to stuff like this. But I also want to show you the back, how clean it is now. I can rub my hand along and look, no dirt comes off. Okay? I'm surprised that everything's still intact after all these years. You know, I've checked all my cables and stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put on the side panel back on, or the plate back on, and I'll show you in a moment. Okay everybody, we're back. I put the switch plate, aka the cover, aka the switch plate, from the shade because it's too hot. It would be too hot to handle. Alright? You see these grooves here onto the side? See if you can see it. There you go. See these grooves onto the side? And this one onto the side? Well, this has the notches which slide into that direction, and it slides in securely as much as possible. And it's completely clean. No more dust bunnies. Also, if you were here and you want to use the dental tool, or you want to use my handmade tool, you can go in and poke through each one in case there's like a loose dust bunny that won't come out. Oh, let's see this one, see? You can also get in here of these things, okay? Now I'm going to put in the switch plate, so it's now clean. Okay? You don't need to put your ground strap on for this one, because when you slide it in, your ground strap's going to get in the way. So, You line it up like so, and you just securely slide it. Well, it's proven to be a liar. Okay. For goodness sakes, come on. Come on, honey. Okay. It's not what it could do, what I thought it would go. It slides in, and some of your guys' computers will come out here as well, but I purposely made it 1 bolt on purpose. And a little handy dandy tool that looks like a pin. There we go. It's tight, don't want it too tight, so in case I need to get back in and go ahead and maintain it again. The see thing is, I would have myself re-grounded, but then as I was sliding this in, this ground would be in the way. Okay? And I found a loose Spider-Man right in here. So guess what I'm going to do? See? Just gently go get your needle on those pliers. And put it in. Go and give it an inspection. You know, you don't want little loose things here and there. In this case, see what's this one? A handmade tool. One of these. Handy. In your computer, having problems with the cable. There. We'll go ahead and inspect it one more time. Oh, there's my switch. There we go, and now we're done. And that is how you do it. I know it took a little while. Well, I hope you liked this tutorial. I hope you're not going to be intimidated by taking apart your computer in the process, but obviously make sure you have an adequate ground strap. And you remember where your chassis is onto your actual computer so you can ground yourself as you clean it so you don't actually fry chips and so on and so forth as you do this. And just follow my steps, and follow my tips and my tricks, and you'll find that cleaning your PC may take a little time, but it's definitely worth it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.